Good morning over on TikTok. Can you guys hear me okay? Getting set up here this morning. Sounds good. All right. Thank you, Gen X. And good morning, everybody. So today we're going to be working on the Sunshine Baby Blanket, which we worked on this last week. And I think the week before that, or maybe a couple weeks before that. But last week we did this really fun edging that you can see here. And let me adjust this up just a smidge, guys. I can hardly move in here. So anyhow, we worked on this roughly edging, and it really looks like sunburst, doesn't it? So today, what we need to do is we need to finish up the yellow where we left off. So we were working on the white scallop, and then we came back and we did the yellow, and then once I get this little section done here, we're going to be moving on to more of the white for outlining these little shells. Now, I made a tutorial of this both on YouTube and on TikTok. And when I did the outer border here, I made a mistake in the video, and I said to do a single crochet slip stitch. We're actually going to do a slip stitch chain one. So instead of a chain one uh, slip stitch, we're going to do a, am I saying this right? I said on the video, I said chain one single crochet, and I need to do a slip stitch and then a chain one. So anyhow, we're going to get that all dialed in here, but let me get this yellow on my hook here and we'll kind of work through these little shells. So just a reminder, everybody, today is the last day. If you've not made a comment yet over on TikTok on the 10,000 follower video to win the board, the blocking board, be sure and do that today. So go over on the TikTok and be sure to like and comment the video so that you can be entered to win the free blocking board as part of the celebration. Okay. I think when I looked this morning, there was like 80 something comments. So that means if there aren't duplicates, now when I use the comment picker, it'll automatically filter out anybody who's commented more than once. But anyhow, if you have not commented on that video, be sure and get your comment in today because tomorrow I'll be doing that comment picker probably in the morning before I get on the live, time permitting. We'll see. So you can kind of see here, we in the valley here, we're doing a slip stitch. Then we're going to do these crisscross double crochets as part of the border. This was a recommendation by one of the followers here, Miss Gen X Girl, just a Gen X girl. And yeah, it looks great, doesn't it? So we used a lot of these crisscrosses in the body of the pattern. You can see here the little crisscrosses. So that's just a nice complement to kind of bring that over into the edging. So anyhow, without further ado here, let us get started on this. I might have to clean my glasses. Boy, they're awfully messed up this morning. So Deborah said, I think I commented on TikTok. Yeah, Deborah, make sure go back over on TikTok and just double check if you want to be entered for that board. Okay, guys, so what we're going to do, once we finish with the valley here, we're going to skip all the way over in between these two double crochets. You can see them here. And into that space, we're going to make a double crochet. Now what we're going to do is a crisscross double crochet. So we're going to put a double crochet back into this space that we missed. And you can kind of see there's like this little yarn that kind of hangs down there. We're going to make sure and go underneath him. So again, yarn over, go all the way through, grab up a loop, yarn over, pull through two, and yarn over, pull through two. So there is our first little crisscross. Can you guys see this okay over on TikTok? The yarn that I'm using, there are links on the link tree, Queen AJ. This is Lion Brand ice cream yarn. I did not control any of the color. I just went back and forth. And this is the colorway Lemon Meringue. It's a 3-weight, 100% acrylic yarn. I really like using it for baby blankets. And this is just such a fun color. I know a lot of us have, weather and stuff in our area. Hey, Brenda, good morning. Okay, so we're going to skip this one. Into the next one, we're going to do a double crochet. I got the light messed up. It's shining in my eyes. I can't see. Okay, then we're going to come back and get this one here that we skipped. So we're going to cross back this way. So we yarn over and go back into this space and do a double crochet. So you can see we've crisscrossed around this post now. And so now what we're going to do is do the same thing around this post. So we yarn over, skip this one, go back up into this one, right into the space and do a double crochet. Then we're going to come back into this space that we missed. So again, yarn over, go back into that space, grab up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2, and yarn over and pull through 2. So we have 3 crisscrosses now. I think we do a total, let's count these. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We're going to end up with a total of 7 of these. So now we're going to work the crisscross around this one. So again, skip here, move over to this space right in between those posts, do your double crochet. Now we're going to come back and pick up this one that we missed. So again, right into that space with our double crochet. Pull out some yarn here. Okay, now we're going to work one around this post. So again, skip here, move over into this space here. And again, come back and pick up this one that we missed. So double crochet. So now we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You can see we have 2 more posts here, so we need to do 2 more. So we're going to skip this, move to the next space. Mama C said, I tried to start a ripple last night. Classic fail, frog it. Yeah, when I first started the ripple, I frogged it a lot of times. So don't give up, Mama C. You got this. Watch the video a few more times. It takes a while. I know Gen X girl, or Gen X, our moderator here, she has tried and finally she's mastered it. Now the last one that she did, I don't think she had to frog it at all. So, but I know she was frogging the first couple times. So after we finish this last crisscross, I come down here into these spaces. I don't do a single crochet. I just do a slip stitch. We want that to be nice and flat. So I'm going to move again to this next stitch here, draw up a loop. Now, not yarn over and do a single crochet. I just pull that through. That's what keeps this nice and flat in between our shells, okay? Then I'm ready to move to the next scallop here. So after you get those 2 slip stitches, we're going to come all the way over. You got to find your first double crochet. So here it is right here. And we're going to work to the left of this. And into that space, we're going to make a double crochet. And when you do that, this will help to kind of pull it down. Now we have to come back and we're going to put a double crochet in the one we missed. Now remember this stitch here, you can see that little bar that kind of comes down there? We want to work underneath that bar. So we'll kind of pull that up. So again, with a double crochet, yarn over into that space, grab up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2, and yarn over, pull through 2. So again, you can kind of see that there's that little bar I was talking about, but it kind of gets it pulled up there. Okay, so now we're ready to work around this one. So we're going to skip this one, move over into the next space here, do our double crochet. Now we're going to come back and pick up this little guy that we missed. So again, yarn over, back with a double crochet, get those crisscrossed. There's number 2. Skip a space into this space here, the next double crochet. And now come back and do your crisscross. They really do look like sunburst. I just love them. Such a fun stitch. And to think that we all made this together on the live. We all voted and everything. It was so much fun when we did this. So I really like it. Okay, so we're going to skip this one into the next here. We're going to do a double crochet. Queen 530 says, I know I refused to do ripples till I started watching April. I know we'll have lots more ripples coming up. I've got some easy ones and some more complicated ones, but I hopefully a lot of you guys have gotten a little more confidence on your ripples. It just takes some time, and I think understanding how those mountains and valleys work. It's definitely kind of a different concept, right? Than I just a regular old like this one goes back and forth rather than up and down. But I know with time and practice, you'll get there. So there we go. We have all 7 of our little crisscrosses now, and so into this space, we need to what I call tack it down. Okay, we've got to take this stitch that's kind of flying up here and get him tucked in to the valley here. So the way we do that is I go into this stitch right here and I draw up a loop and then I just do a slip stitch. So I pull one loop under the other. Then I go into the next stitch, grab up a loop, and again do a slip stitch. Okay, so once we have those 2 slip stitches, now we're ready to start on this next shell. So we're going to skip all this and come over. You got to find your first double crochet stitch here, and we're going to work into this space to the left of it. So we're going to place a double crochet. Now we're going to do a crisscross here into the space that we skipped, okay? So yarn over, go all the way down through, grab up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2, and yarn over, pull through 2. So there's our little crisscross. So on you guys know I was working on the American Patriot blanket, and I worked on that. I guess it was Saturday night I was working on it. And it was kind of late, and I had already been working on stuff that day, so I was kind of tired. And I messed up one of the rows. I did a completely wrong stitch. I did double crochets for the whole row instead of it was supposed to be a skip row where you do a double crochet and then a chain one and then another double crochet and chain one. And I did not catch it until I was 10 rows past it. So, y'all are in good company because I literally had to frog. I counted, it was 10 rows I had to frog on the American Patriot. And so I frogged it. I guess it was Sunday that this happened. I frogged it Monday morning and then I redid those 10 rows Monday morning before work. But that man, it's so frustrating, you know, before work, I can crochet a couple hours. So it was literally a couple hours of work that I had to frog. But at that point, I was like, okay, I'm calling it a night. I'm done. I can't think about this anymore. So anyhow, my lint roller. Some of you guys ask me with the dogs right now, especially with the puppy. I just I have my lint roller close because every time I turn around, I've got more hair on my blanket. That's so gross. I will wash this, of course, before I gift it. Okay, so we've done our 2 little slip stitches. So now again, this is probably the most, complicated part you'll have is you have to skip all of this. Look for your first double crochet. So this is the edge of the blanket here. This is actually our first double crochet. You're going to place that first stitch to the left of that double crochet right into the space. So don't go in the top, but actually go in the space between those 2 double crochets. Once you have that double crochet, then you're going to come back and put a double crochet in the one you missed. So again, crisscross all the way through, grab up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2, and yarn over, pull through 2. So then again, we're going to skip one. Now into the next one, we're going to do a double crochet. And then we're going to come back and pick up this one that we missed. I probably would have had enough yellow to do. So I used a total, this is my 4th skein. You can kind of see what I have left here. And I only have this much more of the yellow. So I probably would have been able to maybe do all of this yellow, but I was worried I wouldn't have enough yarn. So that's why I did the white on the edging. But in all, I think it still looks pretty good. I'm happy with it. I'm going to come back after we finish this and add our little white edging, kind of the finished edging all the way around. So we're getting ready to start that here in just a bit. I've just got these last 2 little shells to finish up. This is our corner here. So again, I'm just working these crisscrosses around each of these double crochets. So I put in one, come back and skip, put it in the one that you skipped. Again, skip here, go to the left of the double crochet, put in a new double crochet. Now come back here and do a double crochet in the one that we skipped. Gen X said it makes the yellow stand out even more. I think it does too. I'm really happy with how this blanket is turning out. I think it's really pretty. So, really happy with it. Okay, so now this tail here is where I tied on. So I'm going to kind of work around this tail. I'll need to come back and weave that in. But we have finished our last double crochet here. So now I need to work in this space here and tack these down. So I'm going to go under these slip stitches of the row below, and I'm going to do a little slip stitch here just to kind of secure this down and keep it in the shell shape. Now I'm going to do another one here in the next stitch. Some of these get a little tight. You can see I have to kind of wiggle my hook to get it through, and that's fine. There's no problem with that. Okay, so now in the corners, when we did the side, we did 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 double crochets. In the corners here, I did a total of 9 double crochets. So as you work your way around the corner, 7 makes it fall a little flat. And so in the corners, I tend to do a couple more double crochets. Oh, the deer are out in the pasture. Cool, cool. So anyhow, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. This is the stitch number 9 here. This is when we first started. So it looks a little different, but this technically here is our 9th stitch. So we're going to go in the space in between here again with our double crochet. So we're going to skip all this and then come over here and do our double crochet. Now, this is the space in between. If I kind of separate that out, when you first are starting, sometimes you'll have like a chain of 3 here. So that stitch will look a little bit different. But into this space here, we need to do our double crochet. That will be our crisscross. Okay, so there is our first crisscross. Now we're going to skip this stitch here, come over into the space in between, and again do our double crochet. And now we've got to come back here and pick up the one that we missed. So again, double crochet into that space. That loop got a little big on me. See how that kind of stretched out? I'm going to pull that out and redo that. That's one of the things as I'm working, if I see stuff like that where maybe I don't get it tight enough on my hook and it loops out like that, I will redo it. I'm kind of a bit of a perfectionist that way, but sometimes that just happens with how the stitches kind of go along. So there's our second crisscross. So now we're going to skip here and come up here and do another crisscross around stitch number 3. These will just start working their way all the way around, and then we're going to come over here. We'll tie off with the yellow. Okay, so again, double crochet into the next. Come back in the space here that we skipped and do a double crochet. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4. We've still got a few more here to go. Boy, when I had to pause my live, it really affected my viewership, didn't it? Isn't that amazing, moderators? I couldn't let my little puppy dog be trapped in between the chair. Bless his heart. He's over here sleeping now. I don't know where he's at, but he settled right down after that, I'll tell you. These little puppies are curious and into everything, I'll tell you. He's uh last night he discovered the bathroom rugs, and he had those strewn around the house. Having a puppy is like having a full-time job, I'll tell you. Mama's busy between work and crochet and keeping track of the puppy dog. Okay, so let's give a count on this and make sure I've got them all. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So there's our very last crisscross. So now I'm going to come down here, and again, I'm just going to do my slip stitch and tack that down. And I'm going to do one more slip stitch, and then I'm going to tie off with the yellow. So let's snip off. Yeah, a lot of the regulars are missing. There's Pam's Beach Vibes. Thank you, Pam, for the gifts. Appreciate that. And yeah, it's kind of a quiet morning. Queen 530 says it's like having a real toddler. Now it seems like it's glitching on my live. I don't know what's going on this morning. Okay, so there's our little corner. We've got that finished now. So now what we're going to do is I'm going to switch back, and I am using uh, in between the yellow yarn that we have here is the Lion Brand ice cream yarn. Yeah, it seems like it's glitching. If it keeps glitching, I might have to just restart my live. So anyhow, this is the crisscross in the middle. This is all Lion Brand ice cream yarn, and this is the colorway Lemon Meringue. To me, it looks like sunshine. And so then we came back and we were doing these sunshine scallops around the edge here. Like I said, guys, sorry, I've got. If y'all are crocheters, you know the lint roller is your friend, especially if you've got pets. Now I'm going to come back. This white that we used is the Bernat Baby Sport. Okay, so this is the colorway. I think it's just white. Yeah, baby white. So you guys know I get these big skeins from Joann's. They are 1,256 yards, and I've just kind of always got this around because it is a 3-weight. It basically is the same as the Lion Brand as far as thickness. So if we look at these two strands, you can see how close they are. This is the Lion Brand over here on the left, and this is the Bernat Baby Sport. They're both 100% acrylic, and so this is an economical way. If you don't want to purchase a bunch of the Lion Brand because it is more expensive, you could get yourself a big skein of the Bernat Baby Sport and kind of do some mixing and matching. And that's what I've done in this case. I didn't have enough of the yellow, and so I pulled in the white as kind of a way to work on that. Oh, no glitching. Okay, good. I'm glad. I thought it was glitching there for a second. I was worried. Okay, and then I've used a lot of this. So I just used my yarn winder and I wound this into a ball to kind of get it a little more manageable. But I'm going to rotate this blanket now. And I'm going to start working here in this corner. There's just a Gen X girl. We're working on your ruffle here, Gen X girl. Our little sunshines. Gen X girl who just sent the gifts is the one that came up. She suggested these crisscrosses when we were on the live working on this. And I honestly, I don't know that I ever would have thought to do the crisscrosses, but man, it sure is slick. It just looks like little sunburst. It's so awesome. So now what I'm going to do, I'm going to come back and we're going to do a little finished edge on this. Again, you don't have to do this. If you like it just the way it is, it looks really pretty, but I don't know. I kind of like how this looks. We experimented with this the other day on the live. and I really liked it. So I'm starting with a slip knot on my hook. I go down into the space and I'm just going to do a slip stitch here, okay? So I want that kind of low profile. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to go into this first stitch here and I'm going to do another slip stitch. Then I chain one, move to the next stitch, pull up a loop, and again another slip stitch. Chain one, move to the next, and again slip stitch. Chain one, and then slip stitch. So we're just going back and forth alternating between a slip stitch and a chain one. Now into the next space, slip stitch, chain one. And you'll see this kind of start to form as we go along. So again, slip stitch, chain one. Now, guys, when I made this tutorial, I said here I did a single crochet. I used the wrong word. And I thought about redoing the tutorial, but it would be a lot of work. And I honestly, I have a lot going on right now, having the new puppy and everything. So I just kind of put a disclaimer on the tutorial that this should be a slip stitch instead of a single crochet, as I mentioned. Um, so anyhow, if you are making this, make sure you take note of that. So again, slip stitch, single crochet. So as you do that, you can see it starts to put this little zigzag edge on it. And I use this a lot for when I do my dish scrubbies or my exfoliators. I'll put this on the edge of it, but I just think it gives it kind of a nice little finished edge. And that's all I'm going to do literally the entire way around this blanket. And it'll go kind of quick as you get going with it. But I just am doing, instead of a single crochet here, slip stitch, chain one. So really, really easy. It keeps that little ruffle nice and flat to the work. So it's not really adding a whole lot of height to the blanket. It's just adding a little line of texture to kind of finish that off. So now as we work here to the corner, you can see these shells, how they kind of sit close together. And I'm not going to go down into this space here. What I'm going to try to do is bridge between here and keep this flat and just see how it looks. So I'm not going to do any stitch here. I'm going to skip to this first one and do a slip stitch and then do my chain one just to see how this kind of looks. So again, slip stitch, chain one. I split that. Let me redo that. Chain one, slip stitch. So what we're looking for is we want to make sure this stays nice and flat and together here. So that's why I'm not coming all the way down here. I'm just going to run this stitch along the top there. And we'll kind of do a few of these and then see how it looks. And then if I need to make any modifications, we'll kind of make any adjustments here on the fly. But I think this will be pretty good. And like I said, I think I like it with this white edge, but I don't know that you would necessarily have to do this. I think it looks beautiful just like this, to be honest with you. So Miss Mary says, I like using the crab stitch for borders. I do too. The crab stitch is also called the reverse single crochet. And it does look a little similar to this, but oops, I missed my chain there. It is definitely different. The way that you do the crab stitch or the reverse single crochet, I can show you all here. Let's grab up some yarn. So when you do that stitch that we're talking about, what Miss Mary's referring to, if we were doing this, we would actually work backwards. So the way you do it, let me get this tail out of the way. Instead of working this way on your project, you come here and work. Oops, I didn't mean to slip that through. Hang on. It's been a while since I've done this stitch, so Miss Mary, correct me if I'm going wrong here. Anyhow, then into the next one, draw up a loop and yarn over both. Into the next one. We've done this on another project. And anyhow, like I said, this is called the crab stitch or the reverse single crochet, but it's used a lot on the edging of baby blankets and that kind of stuff. It's just a nice, really simple kind of ridge effect that it puts. But you can see, it's kind of in your mind if you're with crochet. You work it like backwards, and so some people have a hard time kind of getting that concept. But there is the reverse single crochet. If you wanted to do something like that, it would look good as well. So that's what it looks like on the back. This is the crab stitch, or also it's called the reverse single crochet. So that would look nice also. I think that's a great suggestion. Back over here, we're doing this little, I don't know what this stitch is technically called. Does anybody know what this stitch is called that I'm doing? It's like a little fun zigzag. I really like it. It's super, super easy. But basically, you go under both bars, drop a loop, and then you draw the first loop under the other it's just a slip stitch, and then you chain one. And then you move to the next stitch, slip stitch, chain one. So really, really easy edging. Um, and I really like it. What did you guys think of that? Miss Mary says it took me a while to learn it. The crab stitch. Yeah, it's once you learn it though, I think you can easily pick it back up. And sometimes you don't want a big, bulky ruffle border on something that you're making, right? If you're doing like a dishcloth or even blankets, I've used it on before where, the focal is more on the blanket itself, not the edging. And so it's a nice stitch for that. Hey, Karen, good morning. So, anyhow, we're just putting in a little edge on, I keep missing my or my chain one because I am talking. Believe it or not, for this stitch, I feel like I have to concentrate more than double crochets for whatever reason. So I just finished this stitch here. Now I'm going to skip all of this and I'm going to come over here to this first one over here. And again, I'm going to do a slip stitch there and keep that nice and flat. Then I'm going to resume my chain one into the next stitch, slip stitch, chain one, and slip stitch, chain one. I have to keep doing that in my brain or I miss my stitches. So what all do you guys have working on your crochet this week? Any fun projects in the works? What all are you guys working on? I know Gen X, uh she's what is that a baby deer out there? I have my cameras. So I did a fun thing. Well, for me, it's a fun thing. I live stream my deer camera, my and my bird feeders, and I used to have these in my office in Arizona. I had a treadmill, and above my treadmill, sometimes it's called chainette edging. Oh, interesting, interesting. Or slip stitch edging. Yeah, this is what it looks like. You guys can see that. I don't know if it's focusing. It's hard to focus sometimes. Um, so anyhow, I had this treadmill in my office, and we gave away the treadmill when we moved to Alabama. We didn't want to haul it with us. It was too big. It was a huge treadmill. And anyhow, above that treadmill, I had a little 27-inch TV. And I used to watch, Netflix or something when I would walk on my treadmill. Let's see. Wait, I want to see what everybody's projects are doing. I'll come back to this. Let's see. Hey, Anvil. Good morning. Uh, Barbie said she's doing a hooded cow. I saw a really cute hooded cow the other day. I think I was on. I think I was on Facebook. I can't remember. Karen says she's working on a weighted blanket. Sarah said, I started a sweater for my husband. Nice, nice. It's that time of year. It's definitely cold. Um, Miss Mary said, I just finished an arrow stitch afghan. Nice. You guys have lots of projects going on. Veronica says she's making a rib scarf with beanie for her dad. How cool. Queen 530 says she's on her last row of the Valentine Modern Ripple. How exciting. When you get to the last row, I it's like today, right? I'm on the last row of this baby blanket. I do this like internal cheer inside, right? It's like, woohoo! I feel like the little TikTok, cheer when the goal is met and it goes off. That's how I feel inside when I get a blanket. Like when I'm on the final row or the last, right to come into the end. It's like, yes, I made it. I finished it. Gen X girl says I'm making a blanket for my friend's birthday. Anvil says the daughter demands earwarmers and fingerless gloves since it's brutally cold. Yeah, it's supposed to be really cold this coming week here in Alabama. I think Monday they were saying it's like supposed to be. I know it's not cold compared to where some of you guys are, but for us it's super cold. It's coming. It's supposed to be like in the single digits. So definitely not looking forward to that at all. But we'll see how it goes here. So I know a lot of you guys are dealing with that, um, all the time. Anyhow, Chaser Cake says I'm finishing up a granny square blanket for myself. Awesome, that is great. I know a lot of times we gift our stuffs as crocheters, so it's nice when you actually do a project for yourself to enjoy. What a fun thing. I like that. A lot of times I don't do stuff for myself. I tend to give it all away, and occasionally I'll do something, and then it's like, oh, I like this. I'm glad I did this. So that's a great feeling. Pam says I need to get my crochet mojo back. We call that crojo. Get your crojo back. Oh, I posted on the Discord, guys. I got my Ollie's flyer. Ollie's is OLLIE. Not everybody has them, but they did post Red Heart Jumbos 4.99 at Ollie's. So I don't know if that sale's going on in your area, but I already texted my husband. We have to go to the next town over, and I said, "Babe, do you want to go with me to Scottsboro tonight? We could get some dinner and stop by Ollie's and see what I use Red Heart Jumbo for a lot of the veterans blankets and the wheelchair blankets that I'm doing." And so I thought, oh, 4.99. I better go check that out, see what colors they have. Hopefully, it's not colors that I don't like, but maybe they'll have some good ones. Susan says, I'm working on finishing the house slippers. Very cool. Let's see. Sue says I have 3 different blankets going. That's me right now. I told Mama Wheeler I need to focus on just wrapping up projects. You guys might be seeing some repeat projects come through. Um, just because I have so many projects in the works, like baby blankets and stuff, I need to get some of these wrapped up before I can move on to other stuff. So we might have some repeat days of projects, but it's just part of it. I got to get them finished up, and I have a lot of wheelchair blankets going right now as well. So I added up with Mama Wheeler. She was doing the counting on her fingers as I was rattling them off, and I think we counted I have 17 current works in progress. So I've got to trim that down a little bit. Now, obviously, this little blanket here, if we get this finished off today, will be a good thing. I don't know that I'll get it all finished today, but it's close. Let's put it that way. So, so that'll be a good thing. But yeah, I think I've got 17 different projects going right now. So I just need to get some of them kind of wrapped up. There, a lot of them are over halfway done. Let's see. Recovering crocheter says I'm attempting my first Grafgan. It's the hardest thing I've ever tried. I can imagine that would be hard. I've seen some really cool ones. Danny comes on here. Danny Crochets. A lot of you guys know Danny. And she was working on a graph gown, the one with the elephants. And they just look so complicated. Look how that border is turning out, guys. Do you like it? The yellow? Really pretty. It to me, it just looks like sunburst. So cool. So anyhow, I have not tried to do a graph gown or anything, but it definitely has intrigued me. I just have not gotten to the point where I want to try it yet. I don't know. I need to at some point. I probably need to dip my big toe in. And I did purchase a mosaic graph gown off Etsy, one that kind of called to me a while back. So I do have that one that I purchased, but I just haven't. I haven't actually like taken the plunge yet. So we'll see. Jody says I'm knitting a basket weave scarf for my son and a crochet market bag for a friend. Nice, nice. I feel like now's the season for market bags. So tomorrow's live. I'm going to work on the sunburst square. I just thought it would be kind of a fun thing if you guys are looking for like a spring project. I worked on this sunburst. It's just your regular old sunburst. Instead of three here, I did just two. And I just added some different edging on this, but I'm going to be working on this one tomorrow on the live. If you guys want to tune in for that, I have this variegated yarn that I thought was really pretty. It just screams spring to me, and so I thought it was really fun, and maybe even summer flowers. But I don't know. Now's the time for me to start thinking about stuff like that. And then I just added a few rows of edging onto it. So I'll show you guys this tomorrow on the live. But that could be used for a market bag, is what I was thinking on when I saw Jody's comment. Pam says she's working on the Grace blanket, free on Ravelry. Let's see. Gen X Girl says my heater broke. Oh no. Jody said it's 3 in Cincinnati today. Goodness, goodness. Melissa in Michigan says it was 10 degrees yesterday. Oh, dang. Elsie said I'm working on a baby blanket and finishing up some loveys. Nice, nice. Lots of projects going on. So let's see, 17, yeah. Sorry, catching up. I missed a lot. I'm trying to catch up on the comments here and get back to you guys. Yeah, the sunburst granny square. I haven't really done any granny square work on the live, and one of our viewers last week was mentioning how he was having a hard time with the granny square, and so I thought, well, I will do the sunburst granny square this week. And then one of my lives next week, I'm going to do a regular granny square. So I know we have all different ranges of people that are at different stages in their crochet journey, right? Some people are experienced, some are, just starting out. And a lot of the projects that I do are kind of more intermediate type projects. So I like to every now and then throw in kind of a beginner project just so that it's appealing for everybody. And like with the sunburst granny square, if you wanted to make a little market bag as we start thinking about, spring coming, now's the time to start those projects. Even though it's, we're talking about this cold weather and stuff, but if you don't get started on your spring stuff now, it'll be summertime before you know it, and spring will have passed you by. So now is the time to kind of start thinking about those projects if you're interested in doing something like that. So that's why I thought, well, this week I'll work on the sunburst. So I came up with that one on Saturday when I was just kind of brainstorming stuff. And I don't know that I'm going to do anything with it. I just thought it would be a fun project to kind of do on the live and kind of help people if they're having some challenges with their granny squares. We can talk about doing a magic ring in the center versus like a chain ring in the center. That was one of the things that he was struggling with. So anyhow, I think it'll be kind of a nice change from working on blankets. I do have a ton of blankets going right now, but I just thought it might be kind of fun to mix it up and do something a little different and just kind of change things up for the day. So anyhow, I hope that sounds good to everybody, but it is really pretty. I just love this pink. I'll show you guys all the colors, but one of the things on my yarns that I've been ordering, this yarn here is Big Twist. And I did order some skeins of Big Twist from Joann's. I have not really used Big Twist a lot, and a lot of times we've had people talking about it and just saying like, "Does it split?" or "How's your experience with it?" And I thought, well, you know what? I need to get some Big Twist, and I need to just try it out and see how it works up, and then I can have an educated opinion about it. So I picked up a few skeins of the Big Twist on one of the last sales that came out from Joann's, and so I'll try to do a few projects with that yarn and just see how it works up. And it's definitely feels a lot softer, I think, than some of the Red Heart. The Red Heart jumbos are really a rough yarn. You guys have heard me call it tree bark before, but I do like them because they're such big skeins and they're very economical. So, I am going to go down to Ollie tonight and see for 4.99. I wish I had a 15% off coupon, but I don't right now. And still, for 4.99 for a jumbo is pretty good deal. That's a pretty good deal. Now with your Joann's coupons, I think I have some coming right now. I got them for, I think they're $5 with their doorbuster they just had. But anyhow, we'll see. I'll run down there and see. Usually if they got something like that, they sometimes will have other stuff that came in also as part of that bulk sale that they have. So Ollie, for those that don't know, to me, they're kind of like Big Lots. Most of the Big Lots, I think maybe all the Big Lots are closing, but what they do is they bulk purchase. So if there's a business that's like going out of business or something, and they have a bunch of product, they'll buy in huge lots of merchandise. So it's kind of hit and miss. Like they'll get a whole bunch of heaters in that they buy in bulk, and then they'll, when those are gone, they're gone. In the spring, they'll have flower pots and stuff like that, and all sorts of stuff. So anyhow, sometimes when they have opportunities, they'll buy big lots of um, I don't mean big lots like the company, I mean like a bulk purchase, right, of yarn. And so anyhow, I figured I'll go down and check it out. What can it hurt? Queen 530 says I'm doing an Easter Afghan next. That'll be really pretty. I just got in some fun spring colors, so I need to. I do have a lot of fun colors going on right now with all my blankets, but I'm excited to do some stuff for Easter also. Just spring fun, bright colors. I think it's nice. Let's see. Pam says Ollie's where I am has a lot of Walmart brand stuff. Yeah, it's wow, we have 8 people over on YouTube watching me. Good morning, YouTubers. Full house over there for us on YT. And guys, we were mentioning yesterday, if you're interested, I don't know what's going to happen with this whole TikTok thing, guys. But I did make an account on Favorited where you can do lives, and they're very similar to TikTok lives. I put a link on the link tree. Okay. So if you want to follow me on Favorited, I don't know if I'm going to move to that platform if something happens with TikTok, but there is a good chance that I might. I am 100% certain that I will still be on YouTube live in the mornings, depending on what happens with TikTok. Just if there's a shutdown, we don't really know. It's hard to speculate at this point, but we'll just play it by ear. But if you want to follow me on Favorited, I also put a link for Lemon 8. Lemon 8, I have an account. It's also owned by the same company that owns TikTok. And you can't do live streaming. So I've been posting some videos over there just to kind of keep that account active. But it doesn't have the live stream feature to it, at least yet. And so for me, it's not really a feasible option as a replacement for TikTok. But Favorited, definitely. I know a lot of people are mentioning that they're going to move over to favorited in the event that something happens. A lot of the gifting is the same. The platform is kind of similar with how that you can do the comments and all of that. So anyhow, if you're interested in favorited, you can do that. Um, yeah, Pam said favorited is a lot like TikTok, but no taping and no videos, only live. Right. So that would be it might just be something where I live stream on YT and then also live stream on Favorite. I don't really know. YT YouTube is the best option for me if something happens, just because I'm already set up and I'm already live streaming over there. And a lot of you guys are watching me on both. And so, anyhow, if you're not following me over on YT, my handle is Wheeler8Acres. And so feel free to find me over there. And like I said, I do go live on both in the mornings. So feel free to check that out. And we'll just kind of play it by ear and see how it goes. Now, guys, I'm going to do the drawing for the blocking board probably tomorrow morning if time permits. So it's kind of your last day. If you've not liked and commented on the 10,000 follower video, you might want to do that over on TikTok because today will be the last day. I might do it later tonight too. We'll see. It kind of depends. But if I go over to Ollie tonight, I won't be doing that tonight. I think I'll probably end up doing it tomorrow. But if you haven't liked and commented on that video to be entered in the free uh, giveaway for that, please be sure and look for that today. Okay. And get your comment in on there. I think a lot of you that are watching me this morning already have. We have a lot of the OG crew here this morning. Uh, I heard if TikTok leaves, Lemonade will be gone also because it's part of TikTok or something like that. Yeah, Kimberly, they're owned by the same company, and so I don't know. I There was a lot of talk about people moving over to Lemonade, but uh, I created an account a while ago, and it just you can't go live, so I just don't see that it's a viable solution for what I like to do. I like to go live and chat with you all in the morning and show you my projects and all of that. So, it's one of those things like um, we need a viable solution for that. But for those that don't know, I am live over on YouTube this morning, live streaming, and I'm live on both every morning. And so, anyhow, I think that'll just be kind of where we kind of move over to if you wanted to keep watching me. But all of it's an unknown at this point. So, who knows? If you are a subscriber on TikTok, I need to do a screenshot of all you guys, but this is the subscriber giveaway for the month of January. If you are a subscriber on TikTok, I'm giving away this Scarfy Light, and it is by Lion Brand. This is the colorway Sea Glass, but I'm going to give away a pack of three. These retail a pack of three for $30. And it's a really, really pretty yarn. You can kind of see it here. There are other colorways. So if you are the winner for the January giveaway, and I'll do that later this month. For the subscribers, we'll do the whole spinning wheel thing. But it's a really soft yarn, and it's really fuzzy. Okay, so what Lion Brand brags about is the Scarfy yarn. You're able to make a scarf with a skein. So if you look here, you can see a scarf says 1 to 2 skeins, a hat is 1 skein, and a shirt is 4 to 6. You're going to get three. So you could make a scarf and a hat, basically that combo with that, with what I'm giving away. So this is a 349 yard skein. It is a 4 medium weight. It calls for a J10 hook. It is machine wash gentle and lay flat to dry. 43% acrylic, 41% polyester, 9% nylon, and 7% wool. So yes, Queen 530 asks, so if you're going to if you're going to do the giveaway on YT, yes. So basically, if TikTok shuts down, I will do the giveaway for the TikTok subscribers over on YT. Okay, so I'm gonna write down all of the. I already have them in the spinning wheel thing, but I'm gonna make sure it's up to date. And what I've heard on TikTok is that if you have the app, it's not going to be like, it's not going to disappear from your phone. You're still going to have that app, but it's not going to have the ability to like be updated or anything. Here's a little, I was just playing around. I did a double crochet row, kind of how it works up, but it's real fuzzy and it's nice and soft. So anyhow, that's the January TikTok subscriber giveaway, but we'll do it over on YT. In the event that TikTok shuts down, we'll do that giveaway over on YouTube. Okay, so don't worry, I won't let you guys down on that. I'm not going to disappear. You'll still be able to find me. And a lot of you guys have been following me over on Facebook as well. You can find me under Wheeler 8 Acres over there, but my name on Facebook is April Wilson. And a lot of people are following me because of the puppy. I've been posting some pictures and stuff. And so anyhow, if you wanted to follow me there too, you could DM me as well. So lots of options to find me, guys. Um, TikTok is saying they will shut down the U.S. servers. That means we will lose it. Yeah. So if they do that, we won't be able to access it. And I wouldn't be surprised if they did. I mean, if U.S. doesn't want to play nice, I'm sure they're like, forget you. I'm not going to deal. I'm not going to play nice either. You don't want us in your area or whatever. Bye. Bye, Felicia. So anyhow, we'll just have to see, but for sure, make sure you're following me over on YouTube, guys. Okay, if you're not following me on YouTube, be sure and try to get that set up because you can see me over there. That we're supposed to know in the next couple weeks, I think, what's happening with TikTok. So sooner than later. But also, there's a link on favorited if you wanted to follow me there. Hey, Shauna, good morning. I also wanted to give a shout out to our California folks. I know, I think I haven't seen Desert Life for a few days. I believe she's over in California, but I hope everybody is safe. What devastation! My heart just breaks when I don't know how they're ever going to be able to recover. It's really really horrible and just really sad. It just is heartbreaking. So I hope Desert Life is okay. Like I said, I haven't seen her in a couple days. Well, maybe like a full week. Has anybody seen her? Uh, I don't know. It's let's see. Yeah, Susan. Susan says, I realize you yarn over differently by grabbing under. So, Susan, I'll tell you the story of my little crochet habits here. Um, and for everybody, I'll do a different stitch here so you can kind of see. But what Susan is mentioning is when I go through my two bars here, you are supposed to do a yarn over. So you put your yarn over your hook and then you bring it through and then you yarn over and pull through. That's a single crochet. And I've been crocheting for 40 years. And when I learned, there was no internet or YouTube or anything like that. And so I learned, quote, incorrect. Okay. So, Susan, what I do is I put my hook through and I grab it like this. Well, if we analyze that, you can see that is a yarn under. And I when I pull it through, it's a yarn under. Then I do a yarn over and I pull it through that way. So the stitches look a little different. This is the way you're supposed to do it. Yarn over, pull up a loop, and then yarn over, pull up a loop. Okay, so that's what that stitch looks like. I stick it through, I pull it like this. So that's a yarn under technically. And then I yarn over and pull through too. So this is the incorrect way that I do it. Now, I will make this argument, and you guys have heard me say this before. I don't think there's any rules in crochet. I think if you are consistent with what you are doing, it does not matter. Now, if I changed every time and I did it different, uh, like alternating stitches, I think that would be a problem. But because I do it consistently the same way every single time, I give myself a pass. And honestly, after 40 years, even though technically I know how to change and make it quote correct, I don't think I could teach my brain how to do that. So, yes, technically I yarn under instead of yarn over. And I can always tell the experience level of a crocheter because some pick up on that very quickly, and others, if they're just learning or oblivious like I am, it's like, whatever. So I hope that helps to explain, Susan, why I do what I do. Gen X Girl, you can find me on Facebook. My profile is April Wilson. But if you put in Wheeler 8 Acres, if you do that at symbol with Wheeler 8 Acres, you'll find me. Lots of bird videos and all that. But it's a picture of me and my husband sitting on a wall in Lynchburg. We were at the Jack Daniels tour. So that's my profile if you guys want to follow me on Facebook. Hey, Brianne, good morning. Favorited, there is a link on the link tree if you want to uh, follow me on favorited. I don't know. Susan says that might be why you prefer inline hooks. Interesting. Yeah, that could be. Like I said, I don't know. I learned with inline hooks. And so for me it's one of those things it's kind of ingrained in me at this point. I don't know that I would be able to uh, or even want to be honest with you. I crochet the way I crochet, and I don't like apologize for it, but I do try to explain to people why I do what I do. And I for years I've crocheted and nobody ever asked or anything. It's only since I've been coming on live that I've had that question asked of me. So I've had to really kind of study my stitches and figure out exactly what it is that I do so I can articulate it when people ask. But I do my double crochets the same way too. So like if I do a double crochet, I yarn over, I go through, again, I grab a loop. So that's technically a yarn under instead of doing a yarn over like this. And then I do my double crochet like that. So again, I just pull it through. And technically, what you should do is a yarn over and pull it up, and yarn over, pull through two, and yarn over, pull through two. Betty said, it makes it to me, it doesn't look any different. It's a slight difference. It's so slight though. I don't think, I mean, you can kind of see the difference right in here. Um, Honestly, I kinda like mine better. I think this looks cleaner than this, to be honest with you. So, again, it's like a personal preference, but, I'm definitely not changing. I will 100% guarantee that. At this point, I am going to crochet by doing a yarn under because it's just faster for me to pull it through like this, and then do it that way. But I do I do it half and half. So, but I do it half and half consistently all the time, if that makes sense. Let's see. Everything is Wheeler 8 Acres. My handle on everything you can find me is Wheeler 8 Acres. But my name is April Wilson. That's my married name, April Wilson. So if you're looking for me on like Instagram or I got something in my eye, guys. Or on Facebook, it's under April Wilson, but still there's so many hashtags and the at symbol Wheeler 8 Acres that you can find me if you put in that. If you're looking for me on favorited, it's under the link is on my link tree, but again, it's Wheeler 8 Acres. Uh, wow, my eye is really bugging me. I wonder if I got a hair in it or something. Susan says, I tried inline and I feel like it catches and doesn't move smooth for me. Yeah, everybody has a different preference on their crochet hook and everything. It's one of those things like, you have to take the time and experiment and kind of figure out what works best for you. Because everything is different. I Even with my inline hooks, these guys will tell you I only use the vintage hooks. I do not use the inline hooks of today. I don't like them. I only like the vintage made in the USA hooks. I'm a bit of a hook snob. I collect those. And there is a difference. If you look at the made in Mexico ones versus the made in the USA ones, there's a distinct difference for me anyway. Other people might not be able to see it, but I definitely can tell. And when I try to crochet with those, they don't work for me. I really have to use the made in the USA ones. So Tracy said a lot of amigurumi patterns say to yarn under for a tighter or closer stitch. I have heard that as well. Um, Anvil says I struggle with them splitting my yarn and dragging. Yeah, that's I have a lot of people that mention that as well. Elsie says I do my stitches the same way you do. That's how I was taught many years ago. I have to think that that's the way that I was taught, but it could be, I learned so many years ago. I don't remember. It's 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 really pronounced, I think, when I do stitches like this, the repetition, and I go slow, then people really pick up on it. But again, I don't know. Uh, yes, self-taught. We modify ourselves. Susan says, "No, don't change it. I find it interesting." Yeah, it just shows that there's a different way to kind of do things. Susan said, I started learning when I was 7 in Italy from an Italian lady. That's really cool. I would love to learn how you guys all learned to crochet. Like, did you learn from somebody? You guys know I learned from Mama Wheeler and my grandma, and my grandma's no longer with us, but I learned, I think I was like 8 or 9 when I learned, and um, I'm 49 this year. I'm going to be turning 50 in June is my birthday. But that's who I learned from. But where did you guys all learn from? Did you learn recently, like from watching a YouTube personality or a TikToker? Or did you learn from a book? Or did you learn from a family member or relative? Where all did you guys learn to crochet? Like there has to be a story there, right? I would love to hear how you guys all learned because everybody's story is kind of different. And I think it's cool just to learn that about each other. Let's see. Chaser Cake says I learned from an older lady when I was 18 working at the supermarket. Wow, that's awesome. Sue says I learned from my great aunt when I was 15. I'm 61 now. That is a lot of years of crocheting. Very, very cool. Pam says my mom tried to teach me half double crochet when I was 36. I ended up doing doubles. Mama C said my best friend in high school. Nice, nice. Karen says grandmother's great aunts and mom 50 plus years ago. Amanda said my late grandmother tried to teach me and I wouldn't then. I learned on YouTube and you. Oh, that's cool. I bet your grandma is proud of you though, I believe they're still with us, and that I always think, my grandma, she could, see my chickens. And I don't know, sometimes it's weird. Sometimes I just feel my grandparents' presence here with me. Some people think I'm probably crazy, but I do feel like that. And there's times where I don't know. I feel like they're still here or they're observing and like, did you see that kind of thing, Grandpa? Or so. Anyhow, I think that's really neat. Let's see. Leslie said I bought a DVD set and then used different YouTubes. DVD, there's a good one for you. I still have a DVD player, guys. And part of it is because we have some family videos that are on DVD. Oh no, they're VHS. Excuse me, VHS. I still have a VHS. That's even before that. So I bet a lot of us still have some old VHS tapes laying around, whether they were wedding videos or family videos, whatever it was. Here's the scallops, guys, if you want to check that out. Sandra said, I learned from a lady on a train uh, that I take to work at the age of 45. That is awesome. It's really cool, I think. As crocheters, we are so willing to like share our knowledge, not like covet it, like hold the information, right? If somebody wants to learn, I will take the time to try to teach them, the things that I know. I think that's a lot about our just fiber artists in general, right? If you do embroidery or if you do, different type of stitching or tatting or, all of these different fiber type stuff. If you are into what's the one with the knots, like the macrame? If you're a macrame person and somebody wanted to learn, I think in general our type, the type of people that we are, is we're very giving to share that knowledge. I think it's kind of cool. Veronica said, my mom attempted to teach me how to knit, but it never clicked. So I gave up until now, but now I crochet. Nice, nice. Veronica said, I learned knitting and crocheting from my mom when I was about 8, but I prefer crocheting. Let's see. Susan says, I think your stitches look nice and consistent and compact. Maybe the under helps with that. Yeah, I don't know. It's like I said, it's just always the way that I've done it. Uh, Amanda says, I hope so. I can feel her sitting beside me, teaching me and telling me good job. Yeah, I feel like that sometimes, Amanda. I don't know. Like I said, maybe I'm kind of alone in that thinking, but I do believe that, that presence is still here with me. And maybe it's because I keep it alive. I don't know. Pam said, my mom tried, but I am left handed. She wanted me to do it in the mirror. YouTube has helped. So I think a lot of YouTubers like Mikey, he publishes left-handed videos now too. And I know we have a lot of lefties, so when I am crocheting, it's probably not much of a help. But I think what they do is I think they mirror the videos. Um, so I think that's how they publish those. I don't think that Mikey's actually crocheting left-handed. I could be wrong because that man is amazing. He could actually crochet left-handed, and I just don't know it. But I'm not certain. Susan says same DVD and VHS for family videos. Yeah, that's how I am too. I have a VHS. I still have a DVD player also. Uh, Right-handers just don't understand that's not easy. Uh, Yes, and the words are all backwards on the screen. Yeah, I think it would be hard to do it left-handed just because there's not as many people teaching it left-handed. And like me, I wouldn't be able to teach it left-handed unless I learned how to do it left-handed. And I don't know if I could learn to do it left-handed. I mean, I guess I could, but it's not like I can write with my left hand. Um, Miss Mary says, I took lessons with my sister from a lady. Thank you guys for the gifts this morning. Thank you so much. Let's see. Uh, Chase Your Cake says he's not left handed. Betty said, I learned in the 70s when crocheted vests were in. It's interesting. My mom, they're having a 70s theme party there at the place that she lives. And I don't remember what it's for, but it's for one of their dances or something. And so Mama Wheeler has been working on some 70s outfit for her and Papa Wheeler. And it's interesting because she said some of the gals that are making 70s clothing, because 70s clothing is kind of, I guess, coming back, or it always kind of circles around, right? But she said a lot of those girls on YouTube that make the vintage 70s clothes, they are all learning to crochet so that they can make those vests like Miss Betty just mentioned, so that they can go with their outfits for their 70s clothes. Isn't that kind of cool? I think that's neat. Susan says, I taught my mother to crochet by sitting across from her. She learned that way. Nice, nice, Susan. That's cool. Oh, I missed a stitch here. You can tell when I get to talking because I missed my zigzag. See how it went flat here instead of zigzagging like this? Let me pull this back out. I forget to do my chain. I get to reading the comments and talking, and I forget to do my little chain one. So all I'm doing is a slip stitch and a chain one for this little edging. It's a very relaxed row, but I feel like I get to talking, and sometimes I miss that extra chain. And then when I get down here in between the shells, instead of doing a chain one here, I just skip over to here. I skip all this. and then I do a slip stitch here, and then resume with my chain one and slip stitch, in case you're wondering what I'm doing today. And that way it keeps it nice and flat in between the shells. But we're just adding this little zigzag edging. Oh, you can see there's one that I missed. I'm not going to pull it back and fix it, but it's just adding a little texture here to the edge. So, oh, time check, 8:19 already. I can't believe that. Chase Your Cake says, "Oh, I forgot. The lady who taught me was left-handed. I just stood opposite of her. Mirror image." That's true. I never thought about that. That's really neat. You wouldn't think that a right-handed person would be able to learn from a left-handed, but that makes a lot of sense to me. Let's see. Gen X says, "I want to try to learn right-handed so I don't have to turn my work." Oh, that would be kind of cool. That would be really cool, actually. I bet I could do that. I bet I could learn to do a single crochet, like for this blanket, right? If I think about this blanket, so I went this way and I did a crisscross double crochet. Then I turned my work. Now this has some reverse or half double slip stitch, but a single crochet. If I could learn to do it left-handed and go this way, I wouldn't have to turn my work for my baby blankets. That's a really cool idea. I wonder if I could learn to do that. You've got my wheel spinning here, girl. Arlene says, "My grandma tried to teach me right-handed and I couldn't do it, so I taught myself left-handed." Same for left-handed hairdressers, a struggle for them. I never thought about being a hairdresser left-handed. Let's see. Danny is left-handed, but she's doing mosaic right-handed. Wow. I didn't know that she was doing that. That's cool. Gen X says, "I learned to use right-handed scissors as a kid." So my husband is ambidextrous, and he's interesting because he writes with his right, but he does everything else with his left. But he can be like hammering a board, right? Hammer, 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 hammer. And this hand will get tired, and then he'll switch to this hand and hammer, 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 hammer. So he learned to maybe no, he writes. Excuse me, he writes left-handed. He eats right-handed. Writes left-handed, I think, and eats. I don't know. He mixes stuff all up. He's not truly one or the other. He can use both hands almost interchangeably. But I think he does right with his left hand, and he eats with his right. Yeah, eats. He writes with his left and eats with his right, I think is how it works. Anyhow, it's a whole thing. Vintage retro is all back now. After crocheted vests were ponchos for my girls. I remember those ponchos. Um, they were still around into the 80s for sure. I was born in 75, but I remember those ponchos being in the 80s. I think a lot of left-handed are ambidextrous because we grew up in a right-handed world. Yeah, I think even some teachers would like try to force students to use their right, depending on how old you are, and then eventually they got to the point where they just would accept it. So let's see. Susan says, "I throw a bowling ball lefty and use a lefty baseball gloves, but I write right-handed." Wow, that's neat. Yeah, so really, Susan's pretty ambidextrous. Let's see. Paula says, "My dad could do everything with both hands except right." Yeah, that's how my husband is. He can do it both ways. Uh, Time flies when you're having fun. I know. So Veronica, the hubby story is he couldn't get his password figured out with his computer yesterday, so he ended up taking a day off of work, and just taking the day off. I think he just wanted to like run errands and have a boys' day because he took the puppy with him over to the town, the next town over, and basically went on a parts run and took the little puppy with him and went over to Tractor Supply and went to the bank and just had kind of a boys' day out. So he has to deal with his password today, but I have not heard from him on the live. But he sure had me all scrambled up yesterday, and then of course having the puppy, puppy is around here somewhere still sleeping. He got himself stuck in the chair this morning, and I had to pause the live and get him unstuck. He got wedged between my husband's recliner and the table. He keeps trying to go behind the chairs, and he's going to be too big here in a little bit. So we did have some chaos this morning on the live again, but you all know it's one of those things. I just try to go with it, and things happen. But yeah, he is around here somewhere. I don't know where our little puppy is at. He might be under my chair. Oh, here he is, right here. Let me see if he wants to come up. You guys can say hi to him before we go. Come here, baby. Come here, Diesel. Come here. Come see mom. Come see mom. Come on. You want to come see mom? Come on. You want to do the elevator? Come on, Bubba. Come on up here. Come on. Come on. Come say hi to everybody before we go to work, okay? Come on. Little more. There you go. Elevator going up. There he is. There's our little puppers. Are you saying good morning to everybody? Hi, baby. Hi. Such a sweet boy. Yeah, did you get yourself stuck in the chair this morning? Yeah, your little nose looks awfully dirty. Were you digging? What were you doing? Oh, you got the hiccups. You got the hiccups this morning? Are you ready for some chow? Anyhow, this is little Diesel, and we got him Saturday. If you guys haven't seen him before, yes, puppy breath for sure. Yeah, he's a German AKC Rottweiler, and his name is Diesel. I never thought that we would need a I love Diesel sticker on the TikTok, but here we are. I love Diesel. He's really sweet, but yeah, he's got the sharp little puppy teeth, and he is a handful. So he plays, and then he just crashes out. So he was running around this morning chomping on everything. He's got his toys strewn all over the house, and then he's been sleeping over here on the floor ever since he got stuck in the chair. I think that was his note to like calm down and just relax. But anyhow, he's pretty big. Oh, no. Thank you. Let's move this to the side. You don't need that. So anyhow, we're still learning about yarn. My other one learned about yarn. Yeah, he's got the hiccups this morning a little bit. So when I get off the live here, I'll go out and fill the bird feeders, and then I'll give him some chow, and then I've got to go to work. But he's definitely he's just a lot of fun, So it'll take some time, but you guys can kind of see like way out there. We've got the crate and the dog bed, and then the white bucket is like toy bucket, and he was dragging that around this morning. His food bowl is the silver bowl out here. He was dragging that around, so he was all over the place. But anyhow, yeah, he's got really big paws, and I love how they have the little black on him. So you can see like he's got the little coloring. These are his nails out here, but he's got the little roddy paws and the little heart butt. So he's really cute. But anyhow, that's what I've got going on in my life right now. We had one in Arizona, and he was a really good dog. We left him with our friends in Arizona because we couldn't bring him with us, and so our other Rottweiler we had, his name was Wheeler, of course, and so this little guy's name is Diesel, but he's a sweet puppy. He's a sweet boy. He's like, Mom, just leave me alone and let me sleep already. I don't need to be talking to all these girls on the live. So anyhow, guys, I will hop off now and go to work, but I hope you guys all have a fabulous day. And don't forget to tune in tomorrow. We're going to do the sunburst granny square. Okay, so if you need help with the sunburst granny square, or if you just want to see this fun yarn I've got going, this is what's on deck for tomorrow. Bye for now. See you guys later.